So last month, I paid for $140 of sushi I definitely could not afford.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing dramatic. That's the embarrassing part. Nobody forced me. Nobody even noticed.
Then why did it happen?
6 of us went out. The bill came. And instead of just saying, hey, I only ordered a small plate, can we split it based on what we actually got? My mouth just froze.
Froze how?
I opened it to say the honest thing. And instead, what came out was, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. Split it evenly. Totally fine.
But it wasn't fine.
It was very much not fine. I went home and ate crackers for 2 days.
Over sushi, you didn't even order.
Over sushi, I didn't even order. Not one single piece of it.
So why didn't you just say the real number?
Because saying the real number felt like announcing I was poor or cheap or making it awkward. It felt easier to just quietly overpay and smile.
That's the whole problem, though, isn't it? We treat an honest number like it's a confession.
Exactly. Like saying I only have $30 for this is somehow shameful, instead of just information.
This is actually the moment that got us using something we now call the plain number method.
Explain that one.
It's simple. When money comes up, you say the actual number once, calmly, and then you stop talking.
No apology attached?
No apology, no long explanation, just the number, sitting there by itself, doing all the work on its own.
That sounds almost too simple.
It is simple. It's just not easy, because our brains treat money like a personal test we might fail in public.
So today, we're talking about why talking about money makes so many of us shy, awkward, or completely silent.
Even in our own language, let alone in English.
Especially in English, actually, when you're already nervous about how you sound, and adding numbers on top of that feels like double the pressure.
So let's get into it, starting with why one small number can feel so heavy. Hey there, welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, the show where we make real English conversation feel a little less scary, one topic at a time.
I'm Maria.
And I'm John, who has never once let his sushi story go, apparently.
Never.
Today we're talking about something almost everyone struggles with. Feeling shy or awkward talking about money.
Prices, salaries, splitting bills, saying you can't afford something.
All of it. And we'll share our plain number method for handling those moments calmly.
Later, we've got our word tour. 6 words for talking about money with confidence.
And rewrite it, where we turn awkward money sentences into calm, natural English.
So, Maria, has this ever happened to you? Freezing up the second money comes into the conversation, even in a totally normal, low-stakes moment. Constantly, actually, more than I'd like to admit. Mine's about salary, not sushi.
Go on.
A few years ago, a recruiter asked me straight out, "What salary are you expecting?"
Simple question.
Should be simple. But my brain went completely blank. And then panicked, and then I said a number about 30% lower than what I actually wanted.
Why lower?
Because higher felt greedy. Like I was asking for too much, or assuming I was worth more than I actually was.
So you protected yourself by underpaying yourself.
Exactly that, and I didn't even realize it in the moment. It felt like the safe choice, not the costly one.
That's such a common pattern, though, and one that shows up in almost every field, not just yours.
It really does feel rude. Somehow, like there's an invisible rule that says talking about what you want financially makes you seem selfish or demanding.
But nobody thinks that about the recruiter asking the question.
No, of course not. It's completely normal for them to ask.
So why does it feel abnormal when we have to answer it honestly?
I think because money gets tangled up with worth. Like the number you say about your salary is secretly a number about your value as a person.
Say that again.
The number starts to feel like a verdict on how valuable you are instead of just a practical fact about a job.
That's heavy for one sentence in a conversation.
It really is. And it's exactly why people's voices get quieter or faster or start adding a dozen unnecessary explanations right when the number's finally about to come out.
It's like we're all quietly bracing for judgment that almost never actually arrives.
Almost never, and yet we brace for it every single time anyway. Out of habit more than logic, like a muscle memory built from years of small, awkward moments. Can I add something that makes this trickier?
Please.
It's not just salary. It's tiny, everyday moments, too. The ones that happen almost daily without anyone really noticing.
Like the sushi bill.
Exactly like the sushi bill. Someone says, let's just split it evenly. And even if that's unfair to you, agreeing feels easier than speaking up.
Because speaking up feels like making a scene.
A huge scene. In your head. In reality, it's usually one calm sentence.
But in the moment, it feels like everyone's staring, judging, deciding you're difficult.
Right, and none of that's actually happening. People are mostly thinking about their own bill, not yours.
So the awkwardness is mostly imagined?
Almost entirely imagined. In most everyday situations, the real risk is tiny. The imagined risk feels enormous.
That gap between the imagined reaction and the real one is honestly the whole problem, isn't it?
It really is. And it shows up everywhere. Telling a friend you can't afford a trip. Asking a roommate for your share of the rent. Saying no to an expensive plan without a long, guilty explanation.
All small money moments that somehow feel like huge personal exposures.
Exactly that phrase. Personal exposure. Like saying a number reveals something private and vulnerable about you.
Even though it's really just logistics.
Just logistics. Most of the time. A number, a fact, nothing more dramatic than that, even though our nervous system disagrees completely in the moment.
It's strange how a fact and a feeling can disagree that strongly, and the feeling somehow wins every time.
Every time. Unless you catch it and slow down enough to let the fact speak first, which is really the whole skill we're describing today. Let's talk about this specifically for English learners for a second, because I think it doubles here.
Absolutely doubles. It's not one layer of nerves, it's two stacked right on top of each other.
Say it's not even your first language. Now you're worried about the number, and worried about your grammar, and worried about your accent. All at the same time.
Triple pressure, basically.
Exactly. So someone asks, how much did that cost you? And your brain is juggling three things at once. Do I say the real number? Will I say it correctly? And will I sound confident saying it?
That's an enormous amount to process in the space of about 2 seconds.
It really is. And usually what happens is people either go silent or they rush the number so fast it's barely understandable.
Rushing to get it over with.
Exactly, like ripping off a bandage. Say it fast, hope nobody asks a follow-up question.
But rushing usually makes it sound less confident, not more.
Ironically, yes, a number said slowly and clearly actually sounds more natural than one said in a nervous blur.
So slowing down helps both the English and the confidence.
Both at the same time, which is honestly good news for anyone who felt like they had two separate mountains to climb.
Just one calm sentence, said at a normal pace.
That's really it. It cost me $40, said plainly, like you're describing the weather.
Not like you're confessing a crime.
Definitely not like a confession. Just a fact, delivered in a normal, unhurried human voice, the same tone you'd use to describe the weather outside.
And honestly, the more you practice saying numbers plainly, the more natural it starts to feel, in any language.
It really does get easier with repetition, like any other phrase you practice. Okay, let's actually walk through the plain number method properly, step by step.
Good. Let's make it genuinely useful, not just a nice idea.
Step 1. Decide the number before the conversation starts, if you can. Know your answer ahead of time so you're not inventing it live under pressure, which is exactly where the panic tends to sneak in.
Like deciding your salary range before the interview.
Exactly that. Or deciding your share of the bill before it even arrives.
Step 2.
Say the number once, plainly, without an apology in front of it. Not sorry, but I think I only owe, I owe $20.
No sorry at the start?
No sorry at the start. That word quietly tells people you did something wrong when you didn't.
Step 3.
Stop talking. This is the hardest part, honestly. Once you've said the number, resist the urge to explain, justify, or soften it further.
Why does that matter so much?
Because every extra sentence after the number sounds like doubt. Like you're checking if it's okay to have said it at all.
As if the number itself needed the room's approval before it was allowed to exist.
Exactly that image. And it really doesn't need anyone's approval at all.
So silence after the number is actually confident?
Very confident, even though it feels uncomfortable in the moment. Especially the first few times you try it.
And step 4?
Let the other person respond. Most of the time, they just say okay, and the whole tense moment you built up in your head never actually happens.
That's usually how it goes, honestly.
Almost always. The story in your head is dramatic. The real reply is boring.
Boring in the best possible way.
Genuinely the best possible way. Boring means nobody's upset, nobody's judging, and the whole thing is already over before your nerves even had time to catch up. Can I push back a little here, though?
Go for it. I like a good pushback.
Isn't it sometimes actually appropriate to explain? Like, if you genuinely can't afford something and you want a friend to understand why?
That's a completely fair point, and I'm not saying explanation is always wrong.
So, where's the line?
I think it's the difference between one honest reason and 5 nervous justifications.
Give me an example of each.
One honest reason. I can't do dinner this week. Money's tight right now. That's clear, calm, done.
And 5 nervous justifications?
Sorry, I'd love to, but honestly, things have been a bit weird lately, and I've had some unexpected costs, and I probably shouldn't have said yes last time either, and I feel bad, but
That's exhausting. Just to listen to.
completely exhausting, and it actually makes the other person more uncomfortable, not less.
Because now they feel like they need to comfort you about it.
Exactly. One clear sentence respects everyone's time, including your own.
So it's not about hiding the reason. It's about not drowning it.
That's a great way to put it. Say the reason once, clearly, and let it stand on its own.
No decorations required.
None at all. The plain version is almost always more convincing than the anxious version, because it sounds like a decision, not a request for permission.
That distinction alone might be the most useful thing we've said today.
A decision, not a request. I like that a lot. It changes the whole tone of the sentence before you even say the number itself, and people respond to tone more than they respond to the number. So let's close the loop on the sushi story, because I need a better ending than crackers for 2 days.
There's actually a much better ending now, believe it or not.
Tell it.
Last week, similar situation. Big group, uneven bill. And instead of freezing, I just said, I only had the small plate. Can we split by what we actually ordered?
No apology attached?
Zero apology. Just the sentence, plain and calm.
And what happened?
Everyone just said, oh yeah, sure, makes sense, and grabbed their phones to calculate it.
That's it?
That's genuinely it. No awkward silence, no dramatic reaction, no judgment. Just a normal adjustment to a normal bill.
The disaster you were braced for.
Never showed up. Same as always, honestly.
So what changed between the sushi disaster and this one?
I said the plain number instead of the anxious apology. That's really the entire difference.
One sentence, no decorations.
One sentence, no decorations, and the whole moment just resolved itself.
That's such a small shift with a surprisingly big result.
It really is. And I think that's the core lesson today. Money conversations don't need to be dramatic. They're just facts wearing a scary costume in our heads.
A scary costume that mostly nobody else even notices, no matter how loud it feels from the inside.
Exactly that. Now let's slow down and learn today's words. 6 words that'll help you talk about money clearly and calmly in English, without the apology hiding underneath them. Our first word is budget. Budget.
A budget is a plan for how much money you'll spend or save, usually over a certain period of time. It's not a punishment, just a map you made for yourself, on purpose, before anyone even asked.
Casually, you could say, sorry, that's just outside my budget this month.
In writing, you might say, I've set a budget for eating out this year, and I'm trying to stick to it.
This word instantly makes a boundary sound organized instead of awkward, which is exactly why it's so useful in these conversations.
Our next word is afford. Afford.
Afford means having enough money to pay for something without causing a problem for yourself. It's a simple fact, not a personal failure, even though it often gets treated like one.
You could say, I really can't afford that right now, maybe next time.
Or in writing, we decided we couldn't afford the trip this year, so we postponed it.
Notice how calm that sentence sounds. No apology, no drama, just a clear decision stated once and left alone.
Our next word is split. Split.
Split means to divide something, like a bill, into separate, usually equal or fair, parts. This is the word you needed at that sushi dinner, John, months before you actually learned it properly.
Don't remind me.
Casually, you might say, let's just split it evenly. That's easier.
In writing, you could say, we split the rent based on the size of each room.
Fair splitting doesn't need a long defense, just a clear method everyone can agree on before the numbers even get discussed.
Our next word is upfront. Upfront.
Upfront means honest and direct, especially about something that might normally feel uncomfortable to say. It's basically the entire plain number method in one word, the calm honesty part specifically.
You could say, I'll just be upfront. I only have $20 on me tonight.
Or in writing, she was upfront about her budget from the very first conversation.
People tend to respect upfront more than they respect careful dancing around a topic.
Our next word is negotiate. Negotiate.
Negotiate means to discuss something, often a price or a salary, in order to reach an agreement both sides are happy with. It's a conversation, not a confrontation, and both people are allowed to speak plainly in it.
Casually, you might say, you can definitely negotiate that price. Just ask.
In writing, you could say, he negotiated his starting salary before accepting the job offer.
That recruiter story from earlier could have ended completely differently with this one word in your back pocket.
Our final word is worth. Worth.
Worth means the value of something and can describe money, but also describes how valuable a person or an effort is. It's the word that connects everything we talked about today, the whole idea that a number doesn't measure your value.
You could say, I know my time is worth more than that rate.
Or in writing, understanding your own worth makes salary conversations feel much less intimidating.
That's such a fitting word to end on today.
It really is. Those were today's 6 words: budget, afford, split, upfront, negotiate, and worth.
Try using one of them this week, especially the next time a money conversation makes you want to freeze up completely. Even one calm sentence with one of these words can shift the entire tone of the conversation, and often the outcome too, which is honestly more than most of us ever expect from just 6 simple, ordinary vocabulary words. Now let's do rewrite it, taking nervous, apologetic money sentences and turning them into calm, confident English, using a few of today's words along the way, so you can hear how naturally they fit.
First sentence. Sorry, I know this is awkward, but I can't really afford this right now.
Way too much apology attached to one honest fact. Let's rewrite it. I can't afford this right now, maybe next time.
Same information, half the anxiety, and no explanation required afterward.
Second sentence. I don't know, whatever everyone else wants to pay is fine, I guess.
That's avoiding the number entirely, instead of just stating your part. Try this. I'll split it based on what I actually ordered.
Clear and upfront. No guessing involved, and no risk of quietly overpaying like a certain someone once did.
Third sentence. I probably shouldn't even ask, but is there any way we could negotiate the price a little?
2 apologies before the actual request even arrives. Here's a calmer version. I'd like to negotiate the price. Is there room to talk about it?
Direct, and still completely polite, without a single sorry hiding in the sentence.
Fourth sentence. My budget's kind of a mess, so I don't really know what I can spend. Sorry.
This one hides behind vagueness instead of just naming a number. Try this. My budget for this month is set, so I'll need to keep it under $50.
Specific, and much easier for everyone to work with, instead of leaving people guessing.
Fifth sentence. I feel bad even bringing up salary, but what's the range for this role?
Guilt attached to a completely normal professional question. Rewrite it as, what's the salary range for this role?
Clean, simple, and expected in any interview, no matter how nervous you feel asking it.
And the final sentence. I probably don't deserve to ask for more, but is my current pay actually fair?
After everything we talked about today,
Yeah, that one needs a serious rewrite. Try this instead. I'd like to talk about whether my current pay reflects my worth to the team.
that's honestly a completely different energy.
It really is. None of these rewrites are aggressive or demanding or rude, even though that's often exactly what our nervous brain expects them to sound like,
They're just plain, upfront, and calm.
which turns out to be far more powerful than any apology ever was in almost every money conversation you'll ever have.
The number was never the scary part. The apology in front of it was, and now you know exactly which one to leave out of every single conversation from here on out. So here's today's real takeaway. Talking about money doesn't need an apology attached to it. A number is just a fact, not a confession.
Next time a money moment makes you freeze, try the plain number method. Decide your number ahead of time. Say it once calmly. And then stop talking.
Here's your challenge for this week. Practice one plain money sentence out loud, using one of today's words: budget, afford, split, upfront, negotiate, or worth, and tell us how it felt in the comments.
We'd genuinely love to hear all about it.
And if this episode helped, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and give it a like too. It really helps the channel grow.
Thanks so much for spending your time with us today.
Keep practicing your spoken English.
And keep saying your numbers like they're just numbers. Calm, plain, and completely fine as they are.
Bye for now.